YouTube. Wanted to bring you guys a mini Q&A video. Walt asked a question in the comment section on 2 of our videos, so I thought I'd take the time and respond in a video instead of actually just typing up the answers in the comment sections. So the first question was essentially, do we intend to use the grass that we mow on our pastures for any kind of practical purpose in our homestead? And the answer is right now is no. Now we do give our rabbits grass clippings that we cut, whenever they're fresh cut, and do that for a few days following whenever we've mowed, rake them up and pile them up and give it to them. But as a general rule right now, we haven't really done much beyond that, and I haven't really put a whole lot of thought into it. And the reason is we've got 5 acres of pasture on both the west and east sides of our property. On the west side is where you've seen a lot of the videos where we've got the goats, and we've got a barn, and a lot of things going on out there. And that's where I'm going to be adding paddocks to where we've got the goats, where we're going to be putting our new chicken coop, and adding paddocks and fenced areas around there for them. And so, basically that's going to be our main livestock area, and I won't be managing it with the tractor. I'll be managing it with the livestock. In the front pasture on the east side, that's the video where I was mowing it with the 1025R. That is going to be a food forest eventually. I'm taking a permaculture design certification course here over the next few months, so I'm hoping to begin that project in the spring. I'm going to begin adding some swales on contour there in the pasture, and start planning out my perennial plantings that we'll be doing. So a good portion of probably 1 to 2 acres of that will be converted into forest. I don't know what I'm going to do with the remaining acreage. I don't know if I'm just going to keep it as pasture for now and expand the forest later, or if I will do some sort of grazing, managing it with animals at some point. But trying to figure out a plan in the short term in order to be able to use the grass clippings in any sort of large capacity just really hasn't been one of my goals. It's not something I put a whole lot of thought into. And I do know that last fall I bought 60 square bales of hay for about $250 to make it through the winter with the goats that we had and the chickens and rabbits. And it's August and I've still got about half of that left in the barn. So monetarily, it really didn't cost me that much to get the hay. I've still got a lot of it left, and I'll probably buy some more for this winter since we've got a few extra goats that we didn't have last winter. But by and large, I can't get somebody to come out and hay that pasture for the amount of money that I can go spend and just buy from the guy down the street. So that's pretty much where I'm at on that. If anybody has any ideas of what to do that would make it practical for me to use it and collect it in any sort of meaningful way, I'm certainly open to doing so, and that way I'm not wasting resources in the short term while I'm getting the food forest planned out. The second question that Walt had to do with automatic waterers on our rabbit hutch, and do we plan to put some sort of like a raised bucket and automatic water system in to minimize the time that we have to spend watering the rabbits. And the answer is yes. I've thought about that and do have a kind of a plan in my head about how I want to do that. It's just not something that's come to fruition yet, just because it hasn't been really that important, and the time we've spent watering the rabbits really hasn't been that time consuming. Out of all the daily activities we do, filling up the water once a day really hasn't caused us that much heartburn over the amount of time we spend with the animals. So we are planning to expand the number of meat rabbits that we breed at one time. So far we've been pretty sparingly, going pretty sparingly, because we've been trying to learn and pace ourselves and make sure we don't overwhelm ourselves and get burnt out on it, since we are learning. But the idea is we've actually culled a couple. We've culled the white rabbit that we tried to breed her a couple of times and she didn't breed. We also culled the young male that we were raising up to be of age to be a second buck in our flock of rabbits. Flock, I don't know if that's the right word or not, but our gaggle of rabbits, or whatever you want to call them. But we've we've recently acquired some younger New Zealand whites. We've got 2 does and a buck that we recently acquired, all from different litters from a guy locally who's getting out of rabbit activities. And so we're going to be expanding our operation with those, and we'll probably be looking to start breeding more often and being able to you know, get more rabbit in the freezer than what we have been managing so far. So once we do that, we know that we're going to end up having to build probably a second hutch with a few more cages in it. And once we get to that point, then it will probably make sense to do something where we're doing some sort of gravity fed from a water bucket that's attached to a shelf or a platform or something like that at the end of the hutch. So don't know exactly what it's going to look like. I do know that when we get around to doing it, we will film it and put a video up of it. And if we obviously if we go out and find someone else's design that we decide to implement it together, maybe we'll put our spin on it. Maybe we'll do it just exactly like they did it if it works really well. But we'll make sure and give them credit as well whenever we post those videos. So anyways, they were great questions. I'd love to get more from you guys. Gave me a good chance to put another video here together and get talk about a couple of topics and some of our future plans and stuff. So good stuff, guys. Appreciate it. Thanks, Walt, for your questions. As always, guys, if you like our videos, give us a subscribe, like the video below, comment and ask questions, and maybe get a video response to answer your questions. Talk to you guys later.